What's up, traders? So today I'm going to show you why I think right now is a great time to buy Nike stock and how I plan on increasing my profits using options. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Rashad. I am a full-time options trader and I bring in multiple six figures a year from the stock market. And I use the money I make from the stock market in order to pay for my entire lifestyle. Now, before we get started, make sure that you smash that like button and also subscribe to the channel. And do remember that I am not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. All trading comes with risk. I'm just showing you how I've built wealth over time. Now, I'm sure I don't need to introduce Nike to you. It is probably the most iconic footwear and athletic leisure company that ever existed. But when it's come to their stock, they've definitely seen better times previously. So let's take a look. So pulled up here, I have Nike stock, ticker symbol NKE, and I currently have it on monthly candlesticks, and we can see the last 15 years here. And I just want to show you that this candlestick here was in March of 2020. So this was at the peak of the COVID pandemic. And we can see that it got as low as $60. All right. And then over the next few years, it had a nice little run up and then it peaked at $179. Now, what I want you to take a look at is that currently the stock price is less than what it was at the peak of the COVID pandemic. All right. During COVID, it got down to $60 and it is currently $55 as of this recording. And so since their all-time high in October of 2021, Nike has lost over 66% of its market cap. Now, there are a few reasons for that. However, one of the biggest ones is their prior CEO was making changes to the company that did not help it grow. And one of the major changes that he made was focusing on selling directly to the consumer, which, if done correctly, can absolutely increase your profit margins. However, this did not work out well for Nike. And so when the former CEO started pulling their best-selling shoes out of stores like Foot Locker, Champs, what this did was essentially take away free advertising. Because although, yes, the core die-hard Nike fans will absolutely go to the app and buy the shoe. Yes. However, the non-hardcore fans, the fans that are just walking in the mall and they're doing shopping, well, now when they go into Foot Locker, instead of seeing a bunch of Nike shoes, they see a bunch of Hoka, a bunch of Crocs, and other brands. And so for people that are making spur-of-the-moment purchases, that is now what they have to choose from. And in fact, it was when Nike pulled their shoes out of stores like Foot Locker that brands like Hoka started to increase in popularity. But the past is the past, and Nike does now have a new CEO that is trying to turn the ship, and he absolutely has the skill set in order to do so. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to what this analyst had to say.
Well, joining us now is Jefferies analyst Randy Koenig. He upgraded Nike to buy in late February, $115 price target. So you're a believer here in the story, even after some of the warnings last night that it would take a while.
Yeah, look, the upgrade a couple weeks ago was not on the near term. It's not a quarterly call. It's on, you have the right sheriff, the right new CEO. You have a strategy that makes sense, fix the product, fix the distribution, and then you have time. So the stock was at a 10-year low from a price to sales perspective. Expectations are very low. Sentiment's very negative. We got more of that today or last night. And we think this is a turnaround that'll take 2 years, but will show progress sooner than the market thinks.
And how do you measure progress? Because last night I thought it was notable that North America only declined 4%, yep, and overall sales came in better.
So look, the company's taking more pain now for more gain later. With the numbers last night, the guidance wasn't all that great, right? What you saw was the company really fixing the inventory bloat, and that's going to take some time. So what they did was, let's get the inventory out the door quicker, and let's take our pain and our medicine now. That was reflected in the results. But what you're seeing under the covers is some improvement. So the performance product is working. The Vomero 18, the Pegasus Premium, that's starting to replace some of the issues they're seeing in the Classics franchise. And we think that'll power the stock ahead, not in the next quarter, but 2 to 3 quarters from now. I think you're going to see a lot of upside against very low expectations.
Yeah, I mean, definitely low expectations. I hear you on the price to sales ratio, but the revenue for this fiscal year and next, it's basically equivalent to what they did in like fiscal 21, 22. So it's almost like on a relative basis, it's a smaller business compared to everybody else. How are you gauging what is left in terms of Nike's competitiveness with those upstarts that have done relatively well in that interim period of time?
Yeah, it's great. But what's interesting about the stock is that the stock is also at the COVID low. So almost going back to where the stock was in 21, 22, when it was a smaller business. That's a great point by you. In terms of market share, what we're seeing is Nike gained market share during COVID, and then lost it to these upstarts. These upstarts are starting to slow, at least Hoka is. On is still doing a good job, but what these companies don't have is what Nike has in massive distribution advantage globally. And they have Nike has a lifestyle business. Nike owns your kids. So On and Hoka, for all they've done a great job, On doesn't have an apparel business of note. Hoka is already slowing. And we think that Nike will have the right guy to fix the product and on both apparel and footwear, which will drive the results in a better place. So that's kind of what we're seeing. We're already starting to see evidence of improvement in the running area. Soon to be, when you take that improvement in running, combine it with some stabilization in classics, I think you got a business that kind of starts to take back off. And look, earnings have been cut in half.
Yeah.
Margins have been cut in half. This can rebound fairly quickly.
So there you have it. He has a price target on Nike at $115 and it is currently trading for $56. And I believe that now that they've replaced their CEO and these constant tariff headlines have given us an even better price to buy Nike at, I think that now is the time to take action, but let's take a deeper dive into the company. So first things first, Nike is currently an $80 billion company and it is trading at a PE ratio of 18. So it is fairly cheaply priced, and then it also has a 2.8% dividend yield and a price to cash flow of 12. And that is pretty low for a huge consumer staples company such as Nike. So let's look at their sales over the last 5 years. We can see in the year ending of May 2020, which obviously was impacted by COVID, they did $37 billion. And then in 2021, $44 billion, 2022, $46 billion, 2023, $51 billion, and then 2024, $51 billion again. All right, so sales growth was a little stagnant from 23 to 24. And then in a few months, we'll get the data from the previous year, although it is expected to be a slight decline. However, I'm not super worried about that because I do believe that the new CEO will get things in working order. And I also think that things are going to improve because there was recently some insider buying when it comes to Nike stock. Nike director Robert Holmes acquires 8,600 shares. Nike director Swan Robert Holmes purchased 8,600 shares of Class B common stock at a price of $58.46 per share, totaling $502,756. Following this transaction, Holmes directly owns 31,983 shares and indirectly owns 1,580 shares through the Swan Family Revocable Trust. Now, you should always pay more attention to insider buying than you should to insider selling. And here's the reason for that. People sell for a multitude of reasons. People sell stocks because they're looking to make a big purchase, such as like a house or a car. People sell stocks because they're going on vacation. People sell stocks because they've already made a ton of money off of the stock. And there's dozens of other reasons. However, people buy stocks only for one reason, and it's because they think they will be able to make money off of that purchase. So when a higher up from a company, such as the director, buys a large amount of shares, that is something to pay attention to because that is an obvious sign that he thinks that the shares are very undervalued and he believes that the stock will soon go up in the near future. So with the director of Nike buying over $500,000 worth of shares just last week, for me, that gives me even more clarity that Nike stock is a buy. And so here we have the analyst ratings. And so the analyst we heard from earlier, he had a price target of $115, but it looks like out of the 35 analysts that are currently following the stock, they have a mean target of $78, a high target of $120, and a low target of $40. So it is much lower than the mean target that all analysts have it at. And now that we have that information, let's look at potentially placing a trade. But before we do that, if you know anybody that you think can learn from how to effectively generate income off of the money that they already have using stock options, please tell them about the Trade to Freedom community. The link is in the description below. But not only will they get my exact trades when I enter them, but they'll also get my entire options framework via the Trade to Freedom course. Thirdly, they'll have access to ask me any questions at any time. And then lastly, they'll be within a community of other traders that all have the exact same goals as them. So if you know anybody, the link to Trade to Freedom is in the description below. Go ahead and send it to them. Now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sell puts on Nike in order to get the stock at a cheaper price than what it's trading for today. And by doing that, I'll either one, get paid just to wait around, or two, I'll get paid to wait around and I'll be able to purchase the shares of the stock at the price that I want it at. All right, so for the people who are new to options, when you sell a put, you are agreeing to buy shares of a company at a cheaper price than what it's trading for today. And so since Nike is around $55 today, I could say sell a put at $50 and get paid, let's say $200 for doing so. And let's assume that we have a contract that is about 30 days out. So me as the put seller, I would get paid $200 immediately for agreeing to buy shares of Nike at $50. Now, two things can happen from here. Either Nike stock stays above $50 and I just keep the money and go about my day, or Nike stock drops below $50 and I still keep the money that I was paid. However, now I've agreed to buy 100 shares of the company per contract that I have. So you effectively get paid to either wait around or you get paid to wait around and buy a company that you already like at a cheaper price. And honestly, as long as you're doing this strategy on a company that you would like to own anyway, it's almost a win-win regardless. All right, but let's look at the data points that I like to look at prior to selling any puts. So here I have Nike's chart pulled up, and let's take a look at the Bollinger Bands. So the Bollinger Bands are these black lines here, but the Bollinger Band just aims to show you the price range that the stock is currently expected to stay within. And typically it's about 95% accurate. So if we go back all the way to 6 months ago, we can see it'll stay in for a while and it'll pop out for maybe a few days, but it always pops right back in. And that pattern continues on. And we can see just recently it popped out of the Bollinger Band to the downside, and now it has popped back in. But that's a good thing when it comes to selling puts because the stock is already at the bottom of the price range that is expected to trade within. All right, so even at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, it has it at a price of $52.79. So I want to make sure to sell puts under that mark. But that is the first data point that I look at, and that is the Bollinger Bands. So let's head on over to the Thinkorswim platform so we can look at the other data points. All right, so now we're in the Thinkorswim platform and we are at the options chain. And the first thing we need to do is select an expiration date. Now, when I'm selecting expiration dates, I typically go within 45 days. And so we just need to come over here and select the date. And let's select this May 16th date, which is 32 days out from now. And now the next thing I want to look at is the expected move. So if you come over here, you can see a plus or minus sign and then a number. So it shows plus or minus $7.42 currently. So as of right now, that is the largest expected move that the options market has priced in for Nike stock by this expiration date. And so using that data, we would probably go out somewhere around the $49 mark. However, if you really want to buy the shares, then maybe you go a little higher than that. And so the next thing we want to look at is the delta. So the delta is this column here, but by definition, delta shows you how much an options premium will move per a $1 move in the underlying stock's price. However, most successful traders use delta as the probability of an event occurring. So let's say at this $50 strike, it has a delta of 0.20. And so that is telling me that there's about a 20% chance that Nike stock, which is currently at $56, will drop down to $50 by this expiration date. So essentially, it gives you about an 80% probability of profit. And when it comes to delta, I typically go with a delta of 0.20 or lower. However, if I really want to buy shares of a company sooner than later, then maybe I select a delta that is a little higher. Now, based on my fundamental analysis, I am a buyer of Nike anywhere at $53 or lower. And while I can discuss that fundamental analysis process in another video, let's go ahead and use that $53 as the mark that we want to buy it at. So I may look at this strike here that is at $52.50. And we can see that if we were to sell this put right here, right now, we would get anywhere between $1.68 to $1.73. And now for people who are new to options, every options contract is worth 100 shares. So the price you see here, if you are selling puts, you would times that by 100, and that will be the price that you receive, the price that you are getting paid for selling the puts. And you always get somewhere between the price. So let's just say I would probably receive about $170 for selling one put contract on Nike at this $52.50 strike. So let's go ahead and place the trade. So you just come over and select the bid price, and Thinkorswim will go ahead and load up the ticket for you. So we are selling, and it automatically goes to one contract. Now, for the purposes of this video, we'll just keep it to one contract, but you can change it to however many contracts you would need, and an expiration of May 16th and a strike of $52.50. Now, I would just go over here and move my premium up to about $1.70. And if you are ready to place a trade, you'll hit review and place the trade. But while we're here, let's go ahead and look at the P&L chart. So here where these green dots are where Nike stock is currently at $56. And if you pay attention to this number right here at the bottom, it will show us how much this trade will be worth on expiration day, depending on where Nike stock price is at. All right, so we can see if it stays right here at $56, then we will make $170 off of this trade. If Nike stock moves up, then that $170 is still the max that we can make. If Nike stock moves down a little bit, then we'll still make that $170. Now, it's not until Nike stock drops below the 52.50 mark that we start making less. And then our break even is right around $50.80. And then if it goes down from there, then it starts to become a losing trade. However, in this case, you are absolutely fine with that because you want to buy the shares of the stock at the price that you set. Okay, and if you own the shares of the company, if the price goes down, then you're down on that. Well, it's the same thing with selling puts. However, when you sell puts, you one have a higher probability of profit and you have a much larger margin of error. Because right now, Nike stock is selling for $56. So if it dropped down to $50, then I'm already down 10% on the trade. However, while selling this put, if Nike stock were to drop down to $50, then I'm down much less than I would have been had I just purchased the shares right here, right now. And that's why at heart, I love selling options because it gives me such a higher probability of profit. I absolutely love winning on over 95% of my trades. So I just continue to let everybody else try to hit home runs on every single trade while I'm just over here getting to first base, then second base, then third base, and then heading home to what is called profit. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this video. Like I said before, if you know anybody that you think can benefit from joining the Trader Freedom community, the link is in the description below. Tell them to come on. They'll get my exact trades when I enter them. They'll get my full options course. They'll be able to ask me questions at any time, and they'll be within a community of other traders that have the exact same goal as them. But wishing everybody peace and blessings, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!